The number of dairies here in Wisconsin has dwindled over the past 2 decades. In 2005, the state had 15,000 licensed dairies. In 2022, that number was down to just over 6,300. But don't tell Perry Baeten that. Failure was never an option. Instead, he chose to buckle up, knowing in order to survive, they also had to grow, get lean by becoming even more efficient, even if that meant spending more money to make it happen. And he's the 2024 Milk Business Young Producer Award winner. And this weekend, we show you how his dream is now his reality.
Yeah, a typical day, wake up, usually around 4:30.
Early mornings may be the norm on any dairy farm.
Depending on the day, we got herd check every Tuesday, hoof trimming every Wednesday. So those are, pretty early stuff.
And while this may look like a normal dairy farm, Perry Baeten's attention to detail is the footing for this new Franken dairy farm and what makes it so unique.
I always like farming. I think it's a really good lifestyle, stressful and everything, but I changed a lot. I used to like more of the tractors and working land, and then when we took this over, I had to focus on the cows and kind of become a cow guy.
Perry prides himself on being a cow guy, something he views as the biggest asset on the farm.
I always say that if you keep, good cow numbers, everything else on that side, it's a little more leverage. Tractors don't make you money every day, so cows do.
Perry's dairy is impressive when you walk into the facilities today, but 12 years ago, this was all a dream.
Well, my dad bought it in 1979, so he was first generation here. It wasn't operating at the time. And then him and my mom started milking cows, I think in 80. They were at like 30, and then in 89, they doubled, went to 70. 2012 is when they were getting kind of tired of it, so I bought in, sold my house, and decided it was a good time to do it.
That brought a new chapter for Perry and a fresh start, which then brought a mountain of change.
2016, we bought a neighbor out and we're milking 2 stanchion barns. And then 2017, we built the first freestyle barn in a little retrofitted parlor. And then 2 years ago, we put in a parallel parlor in our old heifer barn and went up to about 700 cows.
Perry's growth has been aggressive, and that comes as no surprise to anyone who knows him.
There were some times that I questioned what he was doing and wondering if he was moving a little fast, but that's been Perry's nature, is to keep things moving rather quickly, and it's worked out really well for him to what you see here today.
Brad Zellner is Perry's nutritionist and has worked with him from almost day one.
I think he might have been the first guy I called to come in here and help me. My wife has been a big part. I don't know how she put up with a lot of that stress.
Perry's wife, Cassandra Baeten, says the early days were challenging.
There's a lot of decisions and stuff, ideas that I wasn't quite on board with, but in the long run, like a lot of them, you can see that it's been for the better.
And what makes this operation even more impressive is the fact that the Baetens had to build all of this pretty much on their own.
He had some help from family, but not as much as what some of the other operations have had. And he wasn't starting with anything new or immaculate.
Learning as he went, Perry's growth hasn't just come in the number of cows, but also how he dives into technology.
We just installed a herd monitor and cow manager system, ear tag system. I'm very, very happy with it. And we cut our shots well below half of what we do now for breeding. It's kind of like an extra person in the herd.
It was an investment that Perry made at the beginning of this year.
I figured we're getting to a point where it's like, boy, it'd be nice to have a herdsman, but now I really don't need one at this point if we get bigger.
It's an endless effort to become more efficient, and even more changes could be on the way.
We're looking at putting a sand separation in. We're definitely planning to grow the herd a little bit. I'm gonna put in a bigger feed pad. It seems like that's never big enough for the amount of feed. We're always running out of that.
Technology has become a strong foundation, but Perry says his other key to success, well, it's his 9 employees on the farm.
A lot of training, but we try to have the little meetings at least once every other month.
And as Perry looks back, he says it's rewarding to see the change and growth in them as well.
I'd say I'm pretty proud. It's kind of cool when you can walk in and one's taking care of fresh cow, and it's like, makes you feel good that he's taking care of that just as good as you are sometimes, so.
At not even 35 years old, what Perry has built is nothing short of impressive. which makes him deserving of the 2024 Milk Business Young Producer Award winner.
The most rewarding is seeing all your stuff you did, all your accomplishments, the change over time.
It means a lot. He's not one to be in the spotlight, and I think it's a great opportunity for younger producers to realize that, it's not all about driving tractor.
Perry says these older barns are a sign of how much has changed. And now raising the next generation with their son Nathan and daughter Ivanka, they are his motivation to not stop here. Perry and his wife will be recognized during the 2024 Milk Business Conference. That's December 10th through the 11th in Las Vegas. And if you're a dairy producer and would like to attend, great news, there is still time to sign up. Just go to milkbusinessconference.com. I'll be there helping MC, but we'll also have a live taping of U.S. Farm Report. And for the first time ever, Clinton Griffiths and I will have a live taping of our new podcast, Unscripted. Well, when we come back, it's a glimpse of ag around the globe. That's next.